Hey everyone. So I have a confession. I was always good at saving money, but I was terrible at keeping it. I would feel so proud watching the number grow, but then something would always happen. Maybe a trip or a wedding, sometimes just a bad day. And then I would dip into my savings, and then I would dip again and again. I acted like my savings account was a bottomless well. I never really put too much thought into how much I'm taking or actually into planning how to use the money. And then one day, I would look at the balance and I start wondering what happened to all my money. If that sounds familiar, if you're someone who can get money, maybe even save up a chunk of it, but then watch it slowly disappear because your spending habits are on autopilot, then you're in the right place. Because budgeting might be just what you need. Okay, quick disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. So please do your own research or consult a professional before making money decisions. Okay, now let's get into the video. You see, most of us are taught the importance of becoming financially stable, but not a lot of attention is paid to staying that way. That's why there are so many people who feel like they are on a financial treadmill. They are working hard, but they are not going anywhere. The good news is, it's not about making more money. It's about turning the money you already have where to go. And that all starts with a budget. Today I am going to be showing you the one simple budget I recommend for every single beginner. But first, let's clear up a big misconception. A budget is not a financial straitjacket. I say it again. A budget is not a financial straitjacket. It's not about restriction, guilt, or saying no to everything you enjoy. Think of it like this. A budget is a spending plan. It's basically GPS for your money. You tell it your destination, your goals, and it gives you the turn-by-turn directions to get there. Without a plan, you are just driving around aimlessly, hoping you eventually find a nice spot. So, what is this magical beginner's budget? It's something called the 50-30-20 rule. It's simple, flexible, and it works for every income level, anywhere in the world. So the idea is to split your after-tax income, that's the money that actually lands in your bank account, into 3 simple categories. The first is your needs. These are the essentials. 50% goes into this category and it is for your non-negotiable, your must-pay expenses. So things like rent or mortgage, utilities, basic transportation, essential insurance, stuff like that. Now the second category is your wants, the fun stuff. Now 30% goes into this category and is for the things that make life enjoyable but aren't essential to survival. So things like eating out, entertainment, shopping, basically anything that is not a need. Now the third and final category is your savings and debt repayments. This is your future. 20% goes in here and this is the category that builds your financial future. It goes towards your emergency fund, long-term savings, investments, stuff like that. Here's an example. Let's say your monthly take-home pay is $2,500. That means $1,250 would be allocated to your needs. $750 would be for your wants, and $500 would go directly to savings and debt. See how clear that is? You now have a map. Now, how do you actually start? You don't just guess these numbers. You build your budget based on reality. And this happens with this 3-step launch plan. Step 1. the 7-day financial X-ray. For the next week, your job is to track every single dollar you spend. And you don't need a fancy app. You can just use the Notes app on your phone or a small notebook. But every time you spend money, write it down. Coffee, write it down. A bus ticket, write it down. That's online or that, write it down. Just observe where your money is actually going without any judgment, because you can't fix what you can't see. Now, step 2, the needs versus wants audit. So after 7 days, you now have your data. Now, you sort your expenses into 2 columns, needs and wants. While doing this, you have to be very honest with yourself. This audit is the most eye-opening part of the entire process because it shows you exactly where your money is actually going, not where you think it's going. Now, step 3, build your first 50-30-20 budget. Now, take your monthly take-home pay and apply the 50-30-20 rule. Using the data from your audit, you can now create a realistic and powerful budget. For example, if your audit shows you are spending $400 a month on eating out, you can now decide if it fits in your budget. If it does, great, go ahead and stuff your face. But if it doesn't, you now know exactly what to adjust so you don't overspend. So to recap, a budget is your friend, not your enemy. The 50-30-20 rule is a perfect, simple framework to get started. And the 3-step process, track, audit, build, can help you create it. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. See you next time. Bye.